Hi. Okay, so it's another pretty sad story of persecution, and I'm going to jump right into it and let you know what's going on. So, the body of a lady called Beatrice Stockley, who was a missionary from Switzerland and had been held captive by Islamist extremists in Mali since January 2016, so that's obviously just over 5 years ago, has been found and identified, Mali's foreign ministry has said. Stockley's body was given to the Malian authorities by the International Committee of the Red Cross, and a DNA test has confirmed that the body is that of the Christian woman who had been kidnapped from Mali's Timbuktu city by the jihadist group Jamaat Nusrat al-Islam wal Muslimin, apparently, the Washington Times reported. Sadly, we have now definitive evidence that the woman who was held hostage is dead, Swiss Federal Councillor Ignacio Cassi said in a statement by the Swiss Federal Department of Foreign Affairs. Last October, the Swiss department announced that Stockley had reportedly been killed. The information came from French hostage Sophie Petronin, who is a 75-year-old French charity worker who was abducted by jihadists in December 2016 and released in 2020. And that was reported at the time by the BBC. Sophie, who again, 75 years old, reported that the missionary was shot dead around a month earlier for refusing to take part in another move with her kidnappers in the Sahara. So it's around 6 months that her body's she's been reportedly killed, and then no body recovered. Petronin said they moved around regularly to keep Malian and French soldiers from tracking them down. And she said that Stockley was dragged outdoors one night during her protest, and then Sophie heard a shot fired. So Stockley, Beatrice, the first lady whose remains have been found, started working as a missionary in Timbuktu city for a Swiss church in the year 2000, but soon branched off on her own. And that was reported by World Watch Monitor. A local church leader in Mali said she led an austere life in Abaraju area where she sold flowers and gave out Christian material. I mean, massive threat to these Islamists, I imagine. She was known to be sociable, especially with women and children. The area is also targeted with jihadist groups doing the targeting. In 2012, unbelievably actually, and testament to her courage and her desire to fulfill the Great Commission, in 2012 she was kidnapped by Islamists but released 10 days later after mediation led by neighbouring Burkina Faso. And they've got their own problems at the moment with Islamist terrorism. She left Mali after her mother and brother pleaded with her, basically, but soon returned, even though the Swiss government had warned against it. She was dragged from her home again in 2016 by armed men in 4 pickup trucks. This is a quote now. Beatrice Stockley is a Swiss nun who declared war against Islam in her attempt to Christianize Muslims. A masked speaker with a British accent who claimed responsibility for her kidnapping on behalf of Al-Qaeda in the Islamic Maghreb said in a video. I mean, even if we want to unpack that absolute nonsense, yeah, okay, I'll read it one more time and you can do your own unpacking because it's just... Beatrice Stockley is a Swiss nun who declared war against Islam in her attempt to Christianize Muslims. In exchange for Stockley's release, AQIM wanted their jailed fighters in Mali and one of the group's leaders who was detained at the International Criminal Court at The Hague to be freed. They also demanded that Stockley not return to any Muslim land to preach about Christianity and presumably give out flowers. What more can be said, really? So a 75-year-old hostage is reporting the death initially before the remains were found and it was confirmed identity. Yeah, they have a 75-year-old lady. I imagine, a massive threat against Islam and Islamization, and also a Swiss missionary who liked to give out flowers and Christian material, and had apparently independently declared war on Islam. Just poppycock, actually. So please pray for her family, who must be, I guess, relieved to know where she is, as it were, but who must be feeling the loss afresh, even though she'd been gone some time. Please actually pray for missionaries, Christian missionaries everywhere, especially those in countries where known Islamic persecution of Christians goes on. Also,